Alright, hello people. Some people asked me to post a video in English about what I was saying in French. There's no problem with that. I'm gonna tell you guys what's happening here in Canada. We have what we call unemployment assistance. When you lose your job, you get that kind of welfare that you pay for it every paycheck. You take money out your pay just for that, and that's unemployment assistance. So when you get laid off every winter, you have something to live on, waiting to go back to work. Especially for agriculture, construction, fishermen, uh, school teachers, many job in Quebec are with season, right? So they go on unemployment assistance, and that's what Mr. Harper is killing here. What's going on about that is that now you have to prove you go for an interview. So when for women who's pregnant, they are obligated by the law to tell that they are pregnant to the new employer. So the new employer may not hire her because he knows in 4 months he's going to have to form someone else. So anyway, if that happens, unemployment assistance now can call the future boss and ask why he didn't hire her. And if he say that she told her she was pregnant and she was going to give birth in 4 months, then for her to say that, she's going to be reliable for not wanting to work. So her unemployment is going to be cut off. It's like to refuse to work. All right. On the other side, if she doesn't say it and the employer hire her, well, she's gonna be fired if he does find out. And when you're fired, you don't have no unemployment assistance. Something else. It's been 20 years that provincial government and federal government that they don't put a penny, not one, in that specific account, which is unemployment assistance. All that money that is in there is from worker and employer, because worker and employer pay each a part of it. Okay, so something else. When you are on unemployment assistance, you cannot refuse work if it means 70% of your previous job, where, for example, if you work for $100 by hour, you cannot refuse a job at $70 an hour. Let's say you work at $12 an hour, you cannot refuse a job at the minimum wage. And that inside a pyramid, I don't know, a surrounding of 100 kilometers. That mean 1 hour to drive at 100 kilometer hour, and another hour to come back home, even if it means 70% of your previous wage, even if it means the minimum wage. So you're gonna drive 2 hours at 100 kilometers to go to work, minimum wage, every day. Who's gonna do that? Something else. There's the 70%. the pregnant woman. Yeah, those who have how you call that? Um, as for prevention, they're taking out work for prevention. They're not gonna be touched for that on the unemployment assistance, but we are going to have to drive an hour. Oh, something else. Before we had to work 700 hours per year to be eligible. Now we need 900. That mean that mean 200 hours more. It's many weeks if you consider that some people work only 30 hours a week. It's impossible. And students have been cut off the program and stuff. It's bad. All the people, many people are gonna be refused much more than before. So uh, unemployment assistance is going to pay less, but all those people that are gonna be losing their job and not be eligible to unemployment assistance are gonna end up on welfare. That's worse. That's much worse. And you cannot, if you accept a job at 70% of your previous wage at 100 kilometers from your house, well, you cannot leave that job to go back to your previous job, because if you do that, you leave your job, and if you do so, you lose your hour accumulated. You lose it, all of it. If you had, for example, 800 hour, and then you go back to your old job, then you work for 400 hour, well, you lose your previous job, so you only have 400 hours, so you're not eligible to the unemployment assistance, and that employer you left doesn't need you anymore. So where you go, what you do, no job, no money, no unemployment assistance. That's just too bad. You go on welfare if you don't want to be kicked out your house, because if people can't pay their rent, they're being kicked out. That's it. Yes. So all over the country, people are not happy about that. And if Harper want homard, trout, and bread on his plate, well, he better step back, because I don't know how people on construction represent, maybe 50% of the job here, and it's big. And all those people go on unemployment assistance every year, every winter. It's not everywhere we can work during winter, because things have delivery, but there's things that cannot be done during winter. There's limit about things that can be done during winter. So a lot of people go on unemployment assistance. So what they gonna do? They're gonna go work at 70% of their jobs. That mean uh, it's gonna go in a shop something, and we are gonna lose our people that got formed in their specific work. A carpenter is a carpenter, and a plumber is a plumber, and you know in construction, it's not everything you can do during winter. And those who work in winter are those are that are old enough, that's been working before us, last come in, first come out. So this is what's going on, and it's really bad because that's a killing people. you know it's, if you want to fight people that fraud, it's not the right way to do it. We don't have to go that way, and we refuse, and there is manifestation all over Canada about that. There's going to be one in Quebec on May 1st, and we are going to have one in Montreal on April 27th. So that's about it. This is the video I made in French, so people that want to know in English, that's what's going on. So we want Harper to step back on his reform, period, because that money is not gonna go nowhere. It's gonna stay here. All right, so on that, bye, see you next time.